Well, it is a new era for air travel as the Real ID rule is finally in effect today. That star on your license is now required to fly in the country. And 10 TV's Kara Lake went to the airport this morning and shows us what happens at TSA if you don't have it yet.
So you can still fly if you do not have your real ID, but just know when you're trying to get through this line, it may take you a little bit longer, and that's because you won't be moving as fast because you will have to go through extra security checks. Starting today, airlines and security checkpoints will require travelers to have a special symbol on their driver's license or identification card. We're talking about that star that means it's been entered and screened through a national database called Real ID. If you don't have one, we're told you may be moved to a different line. There, you'll have to go through extra steps like showing your passport or permanent resident card.
We actually found out like 3 weeks ago that we needed the real IDs, and we found out it was May 7th, which we were like, we're traveling that day. So like 2 weeks ago, we rushed and got our real IDs.
So if you are headed to the airport today, just give yourself plenty of time to make it to the ticket counter as well as through those TSA lines, because there may be some delays with this new rollout. Reporting from John Glenn Columbus International Airport, Kara Lake, 10 TV News.
Kara, thanks. Now, just yesterday, federal officials clarified that people can still get through TSA without the real ID, but there will be extra screening. Well, CNN correspondent Karen Kafer joining us now from Washington, D.C. And Karen, we know some travelers today were left scrambling to get that ID. So if I need to fly in the coming days, but I don't have it yet, what are the alternatives I can use?
Yeah, Angela, there's a number of alternatives, including your U.S. passport. Also, if you have a passport that's been issued by a foreign country, you can use that. Also, a veteran identification card, a Department of Defense ID, also a veteran's health identification. There are a number of items that you can use to present that identification. Also, keep in mind that if you don't have a real ID driver's license just yet, don't leave that driver's license at home. You still need that to drive to the airport. Make sure you keep that with you, and also some sort of supplemental identification. Again, you can get through the checkpoint, just might take you a little bit longer, Angela.
Well, looks pretty nice behind you. No long lines there at Reagan National in D.C. Karen, here in Columbus, we didn't see much traffic at the airport today as well. But what's been the general scene at airports around the country?
Well, here in D.C., there's been someone at any given time over to the side kind of flagging passengers before they get to that security checkpoint to say, hey, do you have your real ID? There was a guy a short while ago who looked at his driver's license and said, I don't actually know if this is a real ID. So they talked him through it. He did have what he needed and moved on to that security checkpoint. The situation at other airports around the country has been pretty light as well when it comes to just how many people need that supplemental security. Airports like Philadelphia, the world's busiest airport, Atlanta Hartsfield, they set up those extra security checkpoints and found that throughout the day they didn't necessarily need them. Coming into today, the good news was that TSA said about 81% of American travelers had that identification that they needed. But for the rest, Angela, it's important to note this is not the deadline for obtaining that real ID. You can still go get one and have it for your summer travel. And you probably should, again, to avoid any delays here.
That's a really good point, Karen. Appreciate that. The real test, I think, will come Memorial Day weekend, the first travel weekend of the summer, right? We'll see. Karen Kafer reporting for us from Washington. Thank you so much.